Yo, boom, one, Deck 1, Deck 2 podcast, episode 41. Got some special guests in the building. Now, we got like, for those who have been to Jamaica, yeah, you know, like, and you're in a dance, or you're maybe you're in quad or asylum. Asylum don't exist no more. But, you know, you're in one of them places, or you're a weddy, and you see the dancers, them go off, and you know what I mean? They go off.
You have to show it.
You have to get out the system.
You see that electrifying, just, you know, well, we got some of them here in the building right now. So, welcome. Welcome. Introduce yourself, what's your name?
I'm Pandi. I've been dancing for the past 13 years.
Yeah.
And I've been involved with dancehall for the past 8 years.
Alright.
Something like that. I'm part of Moneywell, which is still the biggest dancehall group in the UK since 2009, maybe longer, maybe I'm wrong. And I've been dancing with them since 2015, and then I'm doing my own dance school stuff on the side, working with people and just trying to get involved in the culture as much as possible.
Sick. And yourself?
Miss Rojuki, part of old school, Caribbean part UK, gotta represent the family and that. I'm a dancer. I've been dancing for, Jesus Christ, 24 years now.
Damn.
Yeah, for 24 years.
No.
And yeah.
But you're only 21.
Serious?
Yeah, I've been dancing for 24 years, and I've been involved in dancehall since I was 14.
Okay.
And then I jumped back into it, taking it really seriously for the past 3 years, I would say. Since 2017, 2018, I would say, and yeah.
This is mad. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I can't believe that. That means you're obviously of age.
Yeah.
But you look young.
Thank you.
And I've seen you in the dances, you know. I remember one time Fats brought me for one of his dances, and you was there. And I don't know what, I was saying, wow, Fats, I was literally thinking that he's got underage dancers. Underage dancers in his dance.
You know, I don't know, I just like a pick me sometimes as well. I roll to a rave with a lollipop in my hair and be like, let's go. And I act childish.
Oh,
so this probably is, but I just got a youthful energy. But
sick,
I'm not as young as I look.
That's sick. Okay, cool. So I've noticed that you got an accent. Where are you from?
I'm Romanian.
Okay.
I moved to London 6 years ago. I moved to London because of dancehall. And I used university as an excuse to come here.
Love that.
And I dropped out after a year.
Serious?
Yeah, so it was one of those. A good friend of mine from back home in Romania, he was living in London with his dad, and he was like, "You need to come to London." So I was like, "Okay, why and how?" So it was in the time where I started to get into dancehall, and I was like, if I want to be good at it and if I want to make it, I need to go to London.
Okay.
Like that's the capital of dancehall on this side of the world. I need to make it there. And then it was like, Mom, I'm going to uni there. And then I quit after 1 year because it wasn't my thing. And I stayed for the dancehall.
Is it? That's sick.
And the accent is weird because most people cannot tell I'm Romanian, because they think I'm French because I have a list, or Spanish because there's too many Spanish people here. and then it gets to a point where, because I'm Romanian, because I learned English academically, like British academic language, and then because most of my friends are African and Caribbean, and you mix that all up, so it comes out with the way I speak now. It's like I would say, sometimes I would say English that is not in the proper grammar, just because that's how I hear some of my friends talk. It makes more sense to talk like that, like we was there rather than we were there, just because that's how it's
so so, oh, that's interesting. So, okay, Romania. Is there a dancehall scene in Romania? Do they play dancehall in Romania?
There is now.
Yeah.
There wasn't when I started.
Yeah.
So I think I'm the second Romanian dancer to do dancehall.
Yeah.
The first one is a girl called Roxy who grew up in Italy and is you can call her Italian even though she was born in Romania. She's a dancehall queen from Italy. By my knowledge, she's the first Romanian to do actual dancehall, because we had people who did dancehall, but they didn't know what it was. They just did whatever random movement they felt to do on that music, and they called it dancehall. So Roxy was the first, and then I would say I'm the second, even though me and a whole lot of other people were taught by the exact same teacher at the exact same point. That was in 2013. Soon after that, I went to Poland before coming to England. I was there for 8 months, and that's where I learned from Jamaicans, because Poland had a very developed dancehall scene. So they would bring Jamaican teacher like every 5 months.
What, from Jamaica? They bring them from Jamaica
Yeah,
To Poland. This is mad.
So how to put it? Jamaican dancers started to tour Europe and Russia in 2011 or 2012. I think it was 2011. They started with Russia, then they migrated to Europe. So Orville from Dance Expressions, when I was in Poland, I think he had his second tour with his wife Shelly. Few months before that, Global Bob had his first European tour that had a stop in Poland. And then after that, the third one that I took during my time there was Andrei Cosmic from Elite Team. He was on his second tour in Poland. And this was 2013, 2014 year. So I learned, so those were my first 3 Jamaican teachers. Global Bob the first, Orville the second, Andrei Cosmic the third. And Polish people were at a higher level than Romania was anyway, but even by European standards at that time, their culture was very developed because they had...
The teachers.
Yeah, and because they have a very developed sound system culture. Like Polish dancehall parties with the top 5 best sound systems are actual dancehall parties. Where people juggle and they talk, but obviously they talk in Polish.
Yeah.
So my first experience...
Did they talk Polish with a Jamaican accent?
No. Okay.
They say the Wagons.
No. They say Polish, but you know how selectors do their voice. They speak Polish, but they make that voice.
Alright, the rusty voice.
That's bad.
I don't know how you call that voice, but they make that voice. And I remember when I first attended those parties, I didn't like them. Like, why the fuck do they stop the song after 30 seconds? I didn't understand what they were saying in Polish, and my knowledge of reggae was not there yet. I didn't know the songs, I didn't know the vibe. So whenever I ended up in a party where they would juggle reggae, I didn't understand anything. And you will see all these Polish people getting guests for them playing Beres Hammond or Jack Cure and all of that. And then they would understand. But at that point, I was very young in my knowledge, so I didn't understand nothing.
I would have never thought that Poland and Romania had like a dancehall scene. I guess we have I got this negative stereotype that their countries are racist.
But they are.
So that's what I'm saying. But then they clearly have elements that are not.
Yeah. Because they're embracing that.
Because they're embracing that. You get what I'm saying? So, but in my head it's like, nah, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So the fact that they got a scene means that there's some places or some people that are totally not racist. You know what I mean?
Well, you have to understand that Eastern European racism differs from Western society racism, where like Western society racism is in your face. Like, we don't like black people, period. Eastern European, they never had...
Sort this out.
Yeah.
Go on.
Eastern Europeans, they never had enough interaction with people of color, especially from Africa, to create a positive or a negative mindset. So our racism comes from a space where we don't understand the struggles of people of color.
Okay.
So that's how we manifest. Like Romania is very racist specifically to gypsy people. because those have been our people of color, our disenfranchised people. But when it comes to Africans or African diaspora people, we never had a poor community of African people or Africans that come to take our jobs. We never had that. Most of the Africans or people of color that are not gypsies in Romania come from rich families that send them to education in Romania because it's cheaper. And the government give them money, and their family give them money, and I think our government gives that. So we are racist in the fact that we fail to acknowledge that there is racism.
Okay, I get it.
Is it just because it just hasn't been shown to the eyes? It's just not what you're surrounded by, so it's just that you just don't understand it.
Yeah, some of that. And when you don't understand something, it's easy to overstep the boundaries. And that applies to my my generation.
Sorry, keep going. Sorry, this.
And to my generation and probably the generation older, because my grandmas, even though they had no interaction with people of color, they're still racist to the extent where like they're wary of them. And it's not that they've been ingrained with the information that anything but the white race is inferior. It's just the fact that they haven't seen it enough to acknowledge it exists. So I had this weird conversation with my grandmother because my dad was dating a black woman a few years ago and my grandma was not having it. So when I tried to have the talk with my grandma, like explain what it is, she was like, "You can do it, your dad cannot." I was like, "Why that does not make sense?" I can. It's like, yeah, you can date whoever you want, love whoever you want. I don't mind. Your dad cannot. So it's like, and I was like, "Grandma, that's racist." And she's like, "Yeah, whatever. If that's how you label my feelings, I'm okay with that." So there is a level.
It's generational as well. Obviously, you're in a different generation. So going over to you now. Are you? Hold on. I don't want to get it. Are you the girl that done the backflip?
No.
Okay.
That's another dance.
It's another dance.
Yeah. She's had her own viral moments, jumping off the speakers.
Yeah, I don't need to go with the viral moments.
I'm just trying to place. So when you say you got back into dancehall recently, what got you back into it? Or why did you leave? Or
I left because of circumstances, life circumstances. I had my son at 19. I've been working and I've just been trying to make it as like a mum and China. You know, because back in the day dancing wasn't really a thing. It was a hobby, it wasn't a career, it was something you enjoyed to do, but nothing you can really make money off of, and there was no support around a creative system in the dancehall scene especially. And I found out with myself that, you know, I'm trained, I do hip hop, I do street dance, I do various styles of dance, and that was my basis for years, but I felt in myself there was too much competition for me to enjoy the craft anymore. Do you get what I mean? It stopped becoming about dance and it started to become about who's best. And for me, I don't like that type of pressure. So alongside that and other life experiences that happened, I decided to just take a break from when I was 17. And I jumped back in it when I was 21. Formed my own business with a lady called Zenobia. We had our own business company called Rhetoric, and we used to teach young kids street dance. And that was kind of my way into it, but it was a happy time. However, I felt that my time was going. I just felt like I couldn't perform anymore. I felt like I was just that teacher. Do you get what I'm saying? And I felt, and to some extent I was okay, because seeing a look on some kids' faces when they're so happy and being blessed and being given an opportunity to be part of something, and I'm seeing the way kids can grow was great. But then I sat back and I thought, but I'm not growing in myself, in my career. This is not where it should end for me. So I tried to jump back in it, jumped back into street dance, jumped into a group called Cadets, which was actually with one of my old school people I used to dance with when I was 14. Daryl Baker, who was the choreographer of Cadets, and that's my G. I've known him for years, and he jumped back in street dance there, and he was the one that actually said, you know what, you love dancehall, make a dancehall set, and I was just like, I can't do it. And these times I joined Caribbean Party UK, but there's a difference between the dancing on stage, like in a party, and dancing on stage at a show or a competition. There's a different level of training, and there's a different level of dedication and motivation that goes into the two. They both require dedication and motivation. They just come on different scales. And for me, it was finding out which one made me happier. Do you get what I'm saying? So being able to have the opportunity to embrace dancehall even into a scene where people didn't understand it, and it got such a positive response, made me realise this is what I need to continue doing. This makes me happy. And that's all I care about, is being happy. So ever since being in part of Caribbean Party UK, it's literally just been promoting the culture to there's some people that may not understand it. Going to the raves where people may not understand dancehall music but still want to wind up themselves to every single song. It's showing, do you get what I'm saying? It's showing people the real true feeling of dancehall music, and I think that for me is where I'm at my most happiest. And I think that's my drive and my passion in the scene.
That's nice. I've seen you around for many years because, as you said earlier, when you mentioned Jake, you used to dance. You used to go around mix masters there, man.
Yeah, so I try to go out as much
from
as
South Beach. Yeah,
I haven't been there that long.
Yeah, but no, I remember. I remember, or was it Mix Masters put on an event somewhere? No, Coliseum when it was CC2. Yeah, in
Vauxhall. Next to Vauxhall.
Yeah, Vauxhall. And you was there. But I didn't know you was. I just thought, I said, who's this white boy? This white boy, bad. Do you get that a lot? Do you get a lot of people?
I think by now most people have seen me at least once.
Yeah.
But it used to be a lot. And it was I think all of us were at a Dancehall episode in Amsterdam last time, and I still encountered the situation with some people. They were like, hello, white person in the party that enjoys the music, and they don't expect people to dance. But that's very peculiar to the UK, because when I moved here and I started going to parties, I was the only white guy actually dancing in the parties. And 6 years later, I'm still the only white guy dancing in the parties. And
there's a couple here and there.
There's a couple here.
Like Whiteberry's one.
Whiteberry entertains and Whiteberry feels the music, but when it comes to
Whiteberry is the ginger guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's not a dancer.
He's not
he entertains and he
was going in the middle of a
music.
crowd.
Yeah, he holds his own.
I've never seen him in a party. 6 years in.
You know what though? Let me tell you something though. You know what it is? He goes more like the city rave. You go more like the dancehall. But that's the
standard. You get me?
Yeah. You're in with the dancehall. He's in with what they might call bashment. Do you know what I mean? That's the difference.
I stay away from anything labeled as bashment.
Yeah, thank you, Panty.
I stay away from anything labeled as bashment because, and some person in the community explained to me, when the word bashment came up, first of all, bashment means a very good party. That's the basic definition of the word. And then another person who's been longer in the community explained to me that when parties started to happen in the 90s properly in the UK, bashment was what we called today a yardie rave, a yard party, the highest, most authentic rendition of a party in dancehall. But nowadays that word went to
the watered down. It went to the watered down.
And like for me, when somebody says, with the exception of Bashman Nation, because that was a very good experience when I managed to attend it 6 years ago. Every other bashment at the end of it was a space where you go there and a DJ would go 2001, 2019, 1985, 1988, 2011, 1995.
They're just jumping around.
And it makes no sense.
But you see, sorry to cut you, but you see, like back in the 90s or the early 2000s, the word dancehall wasn't as strong. Because technically, dancehall was just a venue.
Yeah, it's a dance hall.
It's a that's
it's
where
a dance hall.
Yeah, that was just so. But the transition, as you're saying, obviously with watering down of bashment, the word bashment, you know, you get the likes of the Sean Paul taking it to, no disrespect to him, but taking it to the masses. Yeah. Bashment. Then obviously dancehall, it created its own, just to keep, I reckon, to keep its authenticity.
Yeah, but now it hasn't created its own because now you've got dancehall and bashment. Dancehall and bashment rave or dancehall and bashment music, which is now is gone in completely different wrong.
But this is only
direction.
England, like in other countries, you know, we had like in the early 90s, ragga. No other country in the world called it ragga. There's just us.
Didn't it?
No.
France called it.
Where France called it?
France called it.
It wasn't.
Well, we just come up with it.
I don't know where.
I thought it was a thing.
Because they used to say ragamuffin. Ragamuffin, you know.
Ragamuffin.
And then it's just ragamuffin. That's the kind of people that listen to that music.
The ragamuffin listen to ragga.
Okay.
But that's the thing.
Noise.
In the late 90s and early 2000s, French people used to call dancehall music raga. And they said we're listening to raga music and we're dancing raga. That's where the term raga jam came from in the middle 2000s to the late 2000s. And then when that get popular, people stop like, hold on, you're just doing dancehall, so stop with the raga nonsense.
It's very interesting that you say if it's bashment, I'm staying away. What's also interesting is the way that you say you hear the music, because that's how me as a DJ, I hear it. I can't stand.
I don't know how anybody can stand.
No, but people.
Remember, if you don't, the thing is, if you don't have the like, you've technically done your homework. That's what I mean. And like Rose is saying, there's parties you go to, they haven't done their homework, innit? Like they just whine to everything. Every song, whether it's Willie Bounce or a cartel gal whine to, they whine to it. That's what I mean.
And dagger to every
the most embarrassing thing that it can happen to me in a rave. I see a girl, I like her, we dance together, and then Willie Bounce come on and she keeps bending over and whining, and I'm like, oh god. Like my interest has gone down.
Do you know what? There's it was interesting when Fat said that he wanted to get you guys on as dancers here, because there's also a negative for the dancers, because some people think that dancers spoil the dance. Because you do what I can't do. You take the shine away from the party. These are the negative things that I've heard. I don't necessarily agree with them, but this is what I've heard. Or the selector starts to play for the dancers. Like it's like you're in a studio, and then so the raver doesn't get to enjoy it.
I get that, but as a raver, I see it as both sides, but I also see that you need to understand that's people's places of release, and you're going out with your friends to have a good time and dance on the dance floor just because, you know, there's others that are known for dancing. We're alright, we're fine.
We're passing out the Ace around.
Party like a pineapple oil.
I want this at my corner shop.
It's available in every convenience store.
Go on. But so it's a release, you're saying, for like.
Yeah, it's a release for dancers, you know, because as a creative, we don't get many spaces. Do you get what I'm saying? To do what we need to do, and just as so, we go to work, we go and do our things. That's our release. But also, dancehall music is based around dancing. You've got the selectors, you've got your DJs, you've got your dancers, you've got your spectators, and you've got people that just come and enjoy the music. If you're back home, you probably got your herb man, you got your man that's selling the juice, whatever everyone is. Everyone's got their position, and I feel like people don't understand it here. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the reason why I don't think people understand it is they complain when dancers are there doing the most, but you're not complaining if girls are all on stage shaking their body. Do you get what I'm saying? So realistically speaking, you are entertained of something. It's just you're not
It's just
comfortable
what part,
because people could do the most.
Yeah.
But I also understand that we have to balance it out. For example, Arts Facts, in the beginning, every rave, we will be dancing from the moment the music turns on to the moment the music stops.
Yeah.
There will be non-stop. And he said to us, him and Nitro was like, you need to think, right? Did people pay to come out and see a show? And we said no. And he's like, right, do people come out, just to have fun? And we're like, yeah. And they're saying, well, what you have now done is taken that experience away from some. So what you now need to do is learn to balance it. So you need to let people understand that there's moments where dancers will have their moment, but it's also where we're going to disperse and you have your moment, and you're going to understand how everyone can enjoy a party and everyone can have fun.
Playing different types of music.
Exactly, everyone's not going to like everything, but there's going to be something for everyone. It's the same as dances. We're not going to dance to everything, but the same way as if you hear your tune in a rave, you might be like, what? It's the same as us. We just might move a little bit different. Do you get what I mean? I don't think people understand that.
But in saying that, what's funny is that when we go to Jamaica, as I said earlier, you start looking at it and you're like, oh, and you get all intrigued. But when it's in your yard, you get all annoyed. It's weird. It's strange to me.
It's because you're experiencing it from a different point of view, and you're experiencing it from where it originates from. So you naturally get a different vibe and a different energy and connection to it because you are now seeing it for yourself, where it comes from, where a lot of the time here it's not as authentic as you could think.
You know, the other thing is, I think though as well, what happens in Jamaica, it's almost so natural that it doesn't stop the party. That's what I mean. So 3 dancers over there dancing, 5 dancers over there dancing, the whole crowd is dancing, but the rest of the party is still enjoying themselves. Whereas over here, a lot of the time, when you lot dance, the crowd stops. They now do a circle, or they now, do you understand what I mean? They stop partying on their own.
I think
that's what I mean. They start watching.
I think the resentment to dancers came when the dances started to become less inclusive. So up to
it was a bit more tricky.
Yeah, so up to let's say 2010, everybody could have done most dances.
Willie Bounce,
Signal
the Plane.
No, Willie Bounce is difficult for people without rhythm, but Signal the Plane, Parachute, Thunderclap, even Stop.
Things at higher level.
Those things are okay, but
even Willie, but you can kind of.
No, it's because it's opposite.
It's a timing. It's an opposite track.
Listen to this though. But the other thing is, like he's saying, when it gets to Jenna Bounce. It starts getting all tricky. And now what I really think.
So there's dances.
That's what I mean.
There's dances. Even back in the day, everyone could do the bogle. But then you got the Armstrong.
Could they though?
No, but it's easier. You can kind of.
You can do a good bogle.
It's what everyone saw the bogle as, but it wasn't necessarily the bogle as what it should.
Okay, no, but what I'm saying is,
I get it. There was generic dances for everyone.
Everyone could do the bogle moves, which is essentially 2 gun fingers and that. Essentially, but then there's a style.
That's the point. Is not that's a myth that has been developed in the UK since the 90s.
So what's a bogle? A bogle is not this.
No.
What's a bogle?
Bogle is when you move your hips left and right. Your arms are just freely left up. And your body flows. The bogle is in the hips.
It's not one finger.
I don't get me wrong. You're not the first.
You've been doing the bogle roll.
No, this is why do you think about when we're in the rave, for example, you see people go off, you don't see everyone always go, you see people...
Alright, okay, you're right, you're making right, because if I look at that Bogle himself...
he never done it.
He never done that. His hands was always up in the air.
Bogle was up free and
his hands were up like this.
You see what you've just done there, that is the rhythm of a Bogle.
We can't do it.
It's the same way with every dancer. I feel like dance has been taken in and out of context to where now it's become something to where it kind of looks unrecognizable.
Let me put it like this.
Okay.
What's the dance roadie boat?
Roll the boat.
Yeah.
This one, isn't it?
That's not the roadie boat.
So what's roll the boat?
What is this?
It's here.
But it's the same thing, man.
It's not the same thing. Because technique-wise, when you hop to the side and do this. That's a dance called Hop the Ferry. It's a different dance altogether.
Alright. Well, you see the problem is, the problem is, when you spoke about dances getting too intricate, well then that's too intricate. Do you see what I'm saying? Because that, you got to, for a person in a dance that's not trained, that's just got basic rhythm, you know, like Beanie Man's, what's it called? Swing away. That's how you do it, innit? No, that's this way, innit? Them things is easy. Swing away. Them dance easy. This helicopter or whatever. Them things are propeller. Them ones are easier, but you see the one that you.
Yeah, but you're
too hard for us.
You're comparing Bogle Dance to when it was created. You have to understand that when Bogle Dance was created in 1992, I think, and it was in 94, nobody was dancing in Jamaica except Bogle. Bogle was considered a body boy for dancing because no man was allowed to take the spotlight as a dancer in that time. And then that move bust, and somehow that created a ripple. That dance was more accepted. And then it came to the development where certain dances were created, go left and right, use your hands and all of that. But putting aside the technique, because it was never about the technique, the purpose of all those movements was to make everybody dance. That's what they say about Bogle, like he was going to a party and dance with everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, kids, grandmas, everybody was involved. And then after he passed away, that was still kept for a few years. But dancers wanted to be Bogle. Dancers wanted to be the ones booked to tour worldwide. So they started to create more and more complicated moves in order for people to book them for stage shows.
They look better.
And then it got to a point where it is now, where dance is hella complicated, and most people in dancehall worldwide don't care about the hella complicated dance.
You can't do it because you don't care because you can't do it.
So
There's a lot to remember.
When I was in Jamaica, I went to the regular parties that you call Uptown Mondays, Bossy Tuesdays, and Rave. 80% of the people that I saw in the party were dancers, and then you had 20% of random Jamaican people who came there, grab a drink and enjoy themselves. And in the 80%, I also put the foreigners that fly to Kingston to experience the culture and hang out with the dancers. And one thing I noticed in that demographic, I rarely saw black women in the parties where dancers attended. It was mostly a man dance. And then this is the conclusion that I came through while watching the younger dancers dance in parties right now and seeing how many white women from Europe, Russia, America flock to the parties to hang out. It's like these moves are created for them to get bookings overseas to teach their moves, because people who study dance and pursue dance careers are not interested in learning the bogle. That's not what gets them booked for a video shoot.
They want to create.
They want the complicated stuff that they can put in a complicated performance on stage. So they're watching what Jamaican dancers have created recently and whether to book them and if the move is relevant for their growth as people. So obviously, if that is where the money, that is where the economy is going to go. People from Europe want to spend money for complicated moves. Dancers in Jamaica are going to create complicated moves.
But I also think that the dances are made because it's like, it's crews. Like the crew over here starts doing their dance. And then I've seen them when I was in Britjam. I see these two sets of dancers kind of just look, it's, you know, the man in the clubs buying bottles and then you buy bottles, so me buy 2 more bottles. But I see them. I see the dancers, so me and you do a left right thing, and then 3 of them come and fling things, and then it's like they're in a battle.
It's like a battle.
Do you get what I'm saying?
But the question is, what do they battle for? Whose attention?
No, but
because Britjam is a place full of foreigners.
Yeah.
That's my point.
But I guess that happens. I guess, remember, you know, in life, if I'm a dancer and I'm in a dance, I want all eyes on me. Even if my main goal is to get out there, like if I'm in a dancing. I know you say it's for your freedom of expression. Yeah. But if me and my 3 friends do a routine, we're doing it for the people. We're not just doing it for ourselves.
Yeah, I understand that, but I don't know, I see dance as different because why are you dancing? What is your main purpose of dancing in the first place? And I feel like from when people connect to their actual purpose of dancing, then I can respect that answer. For example, if a dancer's goal is to
be on, I don't know, on the stage in O2 and to get there they have to do this. I'm gonna respect that. That's you, innit? But it's not every dancer's vision. Me as a dancer, my main vision is I want to go and make sure everyone I'm around, we have a vibe. Do you get me? And I have a great time with everyone that's there. That's exactly what I'm saying. So you can't just say like every dancer has a different vision.
Yeah,
so not every dancer wants to be the best.
But what happens to me that dances and I come and say first, hey listen man, the guy was on me and he said, what? Teach me that move that, and next week he's dancing with me. Like these, you have to look at the dancehall scene, the party scene mostly is about we dress up for the opposite sex. We dance for the opposite sex. Notoriety.
That was an issue a few years ago where new school popular Jamaican dancers were vexing because flossers and people who were not dancers picked up dance just to get white girls in Kingston, because that was the thing that women flocked to at even now, not at that time. But let me put it like this: when you guys see dancers in London dance in a party, what do you think they want from it?
I personally, I have mixed feelings about dancers, to be honest. Sometimes I think they're doing too much, and I think it's ego based. This is my opinion, because it's like if you have to stand in the middle of the dance floor to do your dance move, then you're doing it for attention. If you were doing it in the corner and you were just doing your move with your brethren,
and the crowd turns,
even if it's not about the crowd, if you're doing your thing in your corner because that's how you dance and that's what you get down with, then that's you're vibing, innit? You're in your element. But if you go to the front and just try to create, and you're part of this ring that you're creating, then I think that you're doing it for attention.
But sometimes that ring is created. Why?
Sometimes, of course, sometimes it's created around you. But I'm looking at the positioning of where you are. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm a selector. Right? I'm a DJ, so I've seen sometimes like music playing, dancers, like they come charging. They kind of almost sometimes push out the crowd and they get in the middle. You've forced that. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand, but why do you think we create a circle? If we were to go off, and for example, if we're all dancers in a rave, right, and we're in all different corners, for example, we love a vibe anyway, so we're going to naturally find each other. But if we don't create that circle, if we don't create that space, and we're going to go off, and sometimes the selector calls us and we're going to come up. If we don't create that space, it immediately becomes unsafe.
Of course, but I'm saying, so me as a selector beforehand, I'm playing and I'm seeing this 20 people I'm seeing this 20 people there dancing.
The trick question to what you're explaining, what are you playing?
No matter what I'm playing, because they don't always dance to dancing songs. Sometimes they dance to songs.
And that is the problem, and that's why you get vexed, and I understand that.
Yeah, because it's like, if I'm looking, remember my job is to I'm feeding the whole crowd.
Entertain the whole crowd.
And I've seen that there's a group of girls here, they got their little bottle here, and then the dancers come in and they got. I've seen it like. And then that to me is like, oh, hold on. You don't have more right to this.
And that's the problem with the dancers. That's a problem with the dancers that don't know when to dance. And that makes sense. Like we put those to the side. We don't even acknowledge those. Because we know there are enough people in this culture all around the world that do not know when to stand back and when to step forward.
When to turn it off and turn it off.
Exactly.
But my point was when you want to discern, because I want to believe, even though I might be wrong, that in London dancers, most of them know when to dance and when to not. And if somebody breaks off that format, it's because they're young and new and just didn't do the research enough. But compared to Jamaica, where even now dancers go from beginning to end non-stop regardless of the music, and it's like at some point it becomes boring to watch. You get me? Like, I'm a dancer, but I want to grab a drink and bossa blanc and sing
and just enjoy it.
Simple as that. Like, when I want to dance, I want to dance. When I want to drink, I want to drink. And it kills my heart to be standing like this with a drink with a friend and see some other people walk into the middle and dance, and then watch all of the people in the party go like this because that affects me.
Yeah.
Now
Makes
that,
you not
when
want to
it's
do
going
what
to be
you
your
want to
time,
do.
yeah.
it's now already.
It's already
Now we went to your perception that dancers do this, and I want to tell you, it's not. It's some of them. I want to believe not most of them.
Yeah.
People like me and Rose and Money Wheel and Shortman and Fresh as Ice. When we step forward, we want to give people a good time.
Yeah.
Because if I go in the middle and I do the Willy Bones,
Everyone's gonna jump in
and if they don't, I'll go back to my spot and keep doing the Willy Bones for myself.
And the thing is that you'll find that with our kind of dances, you'll find that if we're all gonna do something, we'll naturally separate and get everyone involved. If it's easy enough, we're gonna be like, hey, come, we're gonna gas next people up, and automatically you haven't, before you realise it, we've dispersed in the crowd and the rave is already back to normal, but everyone's doing the same thing. Do you get what I'm saying? And this is why it's so important. What Pandy's saying is, a lot of dancers, we know when to switch on and off, and also we know when to listen. Do you get what I'm saying? So for example, when the selector's calling us, we'll come up, and when they tell us to go, we'll disperse. But some people still don't appreciate that. Do you get what I'm saying? And for places that back home, where it's something that's 24/7 in the rave, from beginning to end, to here, where sometimes we're only going for about 20 minutes max. Max 20 minutes, and it's still an issue. That's where it becomes this, what is the party really become? Do you get what I'm saying? Because we've actually now watered down the whole party, because we've lost an essence of the party, which is the dancing segment.
No, I agree. I'll tell you what, one of my experiences, it was the experience at It's a Party in
Nomad
upstairs. Now, at that particular time, Super Nitro and who else was it? It was Super Nitro and the selectors, them, Kalai and them, the Jenna Freeze. That was about. Anyway, so I'm playing now. I'm doing a set, and Nitro's not playing, and he's like, run them tune there for me, or whatever. So I started to play them tune there, and then all the dancers, I remember, I think yourself was there, Spade, everyone's there, but I'm not playing for the dancers. Do you get what I'm saying? So I remember, so I played the tune, and then I didn't do the freeze, I didn't do the pull up, I didn't do the
You messed up.
I wasn't playing for the dancers, because I'm not the Caribbean party selectors. They work with the team. In conjunction with the team. But me as a selector, I work with the party, so I've come there with my energy.
Part of the party down, because a part of that whole party is the dance.
No, but what I'm saying is the dance is the thing is I've come there, and I'm not a part of. I don't do the Jenna Freeze is your lot's thing. It's not my thing. So I've come there, but they've asked me to just run that set. So I've done that set, but I'm not gonna do it the same. I'm not gonna copy a man's style. I'm not gonna bite a man's thing and try and be like, why for that? I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna copy a man's style and
do the same.
Do what he does. So, but then what the dancers them did, in my opinion, and I was pissed off, is that you lot visibly showed that you were disappointed. And brought the whole energy down, but
because they saw Super Nitro. Because remember, the Jenna Freeze is a Caribbean party UK thing. Nobody expects it from anybody else. So if they saw Fats or Kalai or Vibes or Nitro there or on the microphone, and you played that, they're going to expect that to happen. But you weren't part of that, and they didn't know.
I know, but what they did was they visibly showed their disappointment, and it affected the party because the crowd fed off of their disappointment now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Where you guys, as a part of the unit, should have said, you lot should have just carried on doing your dancing and then gone to them and said, yo, next time don't make that happen. Don't make someone else run the tune. Because what you did, you showed
tricky line.
Because you dancers are there. Correct me if I'm wrong. None of you paid to get in because you're a part of the team. So every single paying customer is now their satisfaction is more important for the brand, because that's what pays. So if they're not disappointed, you guys shouldn't. It shouldn't have. If you didn't get your dancing.
Right.
That shouldn't be the. That's
I
not big.
respect that,
That's not bigger than the ravers.
Yeah.
And Fats booked me
Yeah.
to deal with the ravers. I'm not a part of Caribbean Party. Do you know what I'm saying?
Let me put it like this.
Why do you play Jenna Bounce then? If you're playing, for people who are not dancing, why is Jenna Bounce in your set?
Because Jenna Bounce is that particular time. I'm a juggler. Idonia is the biggest tune.
Yeah.
And Jenna Bounce is also done by people and liked by people that are not dancers.
But it's a dancing song.
No, but it's not done. But it's not just listened to by dancers.
Yeah.
Because the average, every single dance at that particular time of the year had that song played. Every dance, whether dancers were there or not. Do you get what I'm saying? The general, and that started from if you're gonna talk about Bogle being one of the first big, Buju Band and Bogle was not created for dancers. It was created for the dance hall, for the ravers. And if the dancers dance to it, then it's a bonus. If they don't, it's still gonna be played. Really Bounce gets played whether dancers are there or not. Whether people know how to do it or not, because the tune is a vibe, the energy is there. So I was playing for the people. I'm not playing for the dance. I'm not part of your choreo. How do you say the word?
Choreography.
Yeah, that's not. I'm not a part of that. I wasn't briefed about that. I wasn't told to do that. No, but
if he was briefed, he probably would have been like, alright, cool,
But
yes,
that's the
no,
thing,
no.
that's the thing, you should have been briefed. By the way you describe the situations, I understand you. You should have been briefed.
To know
you know
exactly
what, though?
what would have happened.
You should have been briefed for the simple fact that you were at the Caribbean Party UK. If you were at Dancehall episode, you shouldn't have been briefed and you could have run it.
And it would have
probably
just
that
run like
situation
a
would have
normal
happened.
tape.
But partly like what he's saying though as well, as we've had the conversation like you said earlier, like you're saying, sometimes just party in it. Do you understand what I mean? So not every single time Jenna Bounce gets played, you're not gonna freeze. Not every single time.
I don't
Understand what I mean?
I don't
So it
freeze.
might not happen every single time.
I never like the freeze. I just freeze because everybody.
Yeah.
You get me?
Obviously.
Like I was like I don't want to be the black sheep.
And when it's all bouncing in the air, I'm like, where you going?
I'm gonna do it, but I always like just the original flow.
Okay.
So I prefer when I go to a space where people run Jenna Bounce and we just do the damn thing and go. You get me? No complication and freeze and think, do I have to count? When am I supposed to fling my shoulders and stuff?
You know what I want to ask you lot though then, because we're talking about DJs and DJ and stuff. Like, do you have a favourite UK, not abroad, UK? Do you have a favourite DJ or favourite, like when you go to the party, or you go to the party for them DJs? You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Who's like your, when you're gonna go to the party? I'm gonna go to the party because he's there. Or she's there. Yeah.
Sir DJ Corey.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, he's at the top of his game. I only been to a party where he flopped once. And the only reason he flopped is because there were 10 people in the party.
Okay. So you didn't flop the party.
He was being lazy.
No, the party flopped.
No, the party. No, he was juggling money.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still
Even for a 10 people standard, but the vibe wasn't there because there were 10 people in the party.
When you said he flopped, you meant the vibe flop.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so for me, like my favorite DJ is Sir DJ Corey.
Okay.
Because I heard him juggle in every era of dancehall and entertain, and he confirmed to me that he's the best DJ in the UK when I attended.
To you?
To me. Yeah. To me. That's what I'm saying. To me.
Make you stop drinking.
If I get drunk,
This is why. I went to his birthday party in 2018. And when we got there were some shit DJs for a very long time. Now, I don't know if he booked shit DJs on purpose just to make him look good. You get me? That might have happened. I don't know.
You got Corey in there.
I don't know if it was a setup for him.
He said I said the ugly girl rolling with the pretty girl rolling with the ugly girl.
Yeah. She knows what she did.
So the vibe was shit. The DJ was shit. And then Corey comes on decks. His birthday juggle, whatever. So I'm telling my wife, look at this guy. He's gonna make the party good in 2 minutes. The Corey made it good in 30 seconds.
Okay.
In 30 seconds, he juggled like 20 songs. Boom, 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 done. And you were in a completely different party.
Okay.
So after seeing that, the speed that he juggled to get the vibes in 30 seconds, I'm like, okay, for me, he's the best.
Corey's very good.
But the thing is, I don't attend parties where I don't know the DJs.
Okay.
I've done that, a few in my life. I'm never gonna do it again. If I see a flyer with baga names that I don't know, I'm not going there.
Nah, go nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah, so like, especially since I'm part of the Dancehall episode team, you're part of the Dancehall episode team, and we have like 55 DJ names in the group. I have 55 options to attend, and if nobody in London
alone,
any of those 55, I'm not gonna go. I'm not
I don't
gonna
recognize none of them names, and I know 55 names.
But it happened. Like obviously, I'm not here to bash shit DJs because they have a lot of followers on Instagram. But the thing was, I went to raves with
What's the Bogle to that?
Which one?
I went to raves where these, let's call them city bashman DJs were organizing or making, and there was some of the worst raves I've been to. I even brought people from Europe that were visiting London who are passionate about dancehall to there, and even they recognized that it was shit. So I'm like, I'm not gonna, for example, if DJ Nate throws a party, I only go after 3 a.m. to his party.
Because of the
No, because I know from 3 a.m. him and English Fire are gonna come up. Everybody, I tried going before 3 a.m. to Nate's party. It was like mad. I was like, wow.
What happened in parties at the...
What about you?
So what about you? Who's like in your...
You know what? I have quite a few, but I like quite a few of the up and coming. I'm not gonna say team because I'm gonna be biased. I listen to every single DJ in my team stuff, ish family, and it is what it is. But like, especially during lockdown, the lives that the DJs listen to the most, Capo.
Okay.
Bad DJ. Listen. I swear to God, one of the only young shooters I know that can play music and it makes sense.
Okay.
No matter what genre we're playing, he doesn't chop and change. If you're listening to reggae, you know you're getting a nice reggae segment.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? I like that. Dio, fire.
Dio's
fire. Mad fire. Oh, big studs, vibes. Even though he's in my team, but I think I like listening to and watching vibes because I like seeing his growth. Do you get what I'm saying? He's not the same person he was 2 years ago, and I like seeing DJ's growth. Andrew Fresh.
Okay.
Big DJ.
Can't go wrong.
But even when I saw him in Dam, I was like, wherever you're going, can you please let me know? I need to hear you play at least once. Do you get what I'm saying? And I respect that man because the way he respects not only the music and the artists in Jamaica, he also promotes artists over here.
100.
And I feel
and
like
the dancers as well.
and the dancers. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got one of the biggest opportunities I think in my life. Do you get what I'm saying? He gave me the platform to literally stop Rebel from dancing and told her, let me show you my UK talent. Allowed me to go on the floor. Allowed me to do what I needed to do, and just for that was Tipsy Thursday on the Carnival.
Is it online?
I haven't been to that one.
Yeah, it was a Tipsy Thursday.
That clip online?
No, you know what? That clip, I'll show it to you.
Have you got it? Can we insert it here?
I will send it. You'll be the actual first. You'll be the first. You'll be the first people to actually see it because, for me, when I get certain opportunities like that for me is a dream. For me as a dancer, there's certain goals and aspirations. That there was Dancing Rebel, there was Ninja, there was...
I missed that party, man, because I had to go to work.
There was O'Shea, there was TC, and then we had some of our guys from our team. That moment of just everyone holding a vibe.
I remember I see the video.
I
nothing could ever top that for me in my life.
On a Thursday.
I'll send it to you guys. You see, and that for me, since that Andrew Fresh don't know me from nowhere. I went Tipsy Thursday the week before. He said, "Come back again next week." That's it. I didn't know from nowhere. But from DJs like that, you know, that not only rate the dancers, but any talent that comes from the UK. They're the type of DJs I love listening to. Yeah, because that's for me, that's what it's about. Because if we don't support our own, how are we growing?
100.
If we're not, for example, our artists, a lot of our artists have songs on the same rhythms as artists in Jamaica do. Why are they not on their sets? Do you get what I'm saying? Bruv, you play 5 songs on a rhythm. At least 2 of your songs minimum should be off the UK if you have it.
Let's push it.
Do you get me?
Let's get there.
And they're the DJs I deal with the most because then I like dancing to UK stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? So any DJ that embraces the UK, I mean, and Master J, love J, love J, and English Fire as well.
Jay,
big supporter.
Jay, for the dancers, I see why you guys connect with him because he's a dancer himself.
Yeah.
So
Jay's a dancer.
He used to be a dancer.
He used to be a
dancer before he became a selector.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, you said I don't know.
For 5 years, I never heard.
Have you ever seen him join in though in the party? Like, and he joins in.
Everybody joins.
No.
How often you see me joining?
I mean, that's you.
Like that.
That's you. But you know what I mean? There's a few certain you don't see them joining really.
He joins. I don't know how far he took dancing, but he was a dancer, and so he's got an understanding of dancers more than an average. So if someone don't dance, you don't know about dancing. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't even identify if you don't dance. Full stop. You can't identify with it. You can look at what works, but you can't identify with it. Alright, I'm going to ask you a question before we wrap up because I've got a bounce. What would you say is the best dance, you know, like signature dance, what is the best signature dance and what's the best dancing song? They don't have to necessarily be with each other. So you might like Jenna Bounce, but the Jenna Bounce song might not be, the Willie Bounce song might be the best.
Yeah.
So what?
For me, it's not really a song. I like errors.
Yeah.
I like errors. For me, the era that gets me most gassed is the mid-school era.
Yeah.
So the era of where the really bounces come out and then the lingers and the sweeps and stuff. And even taking it just a little bit further back, the party eras.
Yeah.
That I think for me, it's not really a dance.
Like Sesame Street and them
them eras.
I call it the Elephant Man time.
Yeah, Elephant
Man. You can say marital family.
Exactly.
Really man had.
No, but I just call it them.
Dr. Revon had about everything.
Yo.
Yeah. But I can't name everyone.
But that era for me, I can't pick a song or a dance, but if anything has to come from anywhere, it has to be from there. Okay. Anything from there for me, it's a different feeling.
Jerry Springer, you like them downstairs.
Jerry Springer, Doctor Who, Red Carpet, that era.
Okay. What about yourself?
So I'm with the Bogle Dance move as the biggest and.
But the proper way.
With the hips.
From up here. With the hips.
Yeah, the hands on there. Watch it.
I will shoot myself in the leg before I start doing this.
Alright, hold on. Do me a favour. Let me hold this. Let me get this camera. Do a proper Bogle. Let me see.
Paddy, shut him.
Show me a.
Yeah,
show me a proper Bogle.
What here?
Yeah, just.
I'm gonna get up. Hey.
That's a Bogle.
Go there, Pandy.
So not my one.
No, Patsy, go there. Go there, Patsy. Shut him.
That was the Bogle to me,
and
boy.
can you please edit like a red X?
Give me the green ticket, give me the red. Alright,
So the Bogle.
give me the red.
I don't know if I'm biased because of course as a white person I get more forwards in London because I'm the only one that they see dancing, but I can do anything, but whenever I start doing that in a party, everybody gets crazy.
It's because you can tell where it comes from. You can tell who you studied, and you can tell that was it for you. You know when you Bogle, you know when you just get in your zone, you're feeling it. Everyone can feel it because they can feel where it comes from. You get me?
I can see that when you dance. I can see the passion.
I have good teachers.
I can see the passion. Let me ask you a question then. As a white man, do you feel that seeing, because you know, like they say a lot of white people don't have rhythm. Did you?
I agree with that.
No, so for you, because all right, let me look at someone like, so if you look at some hip hop dancers, yeah, like even Justin Timberlake and all them people in their videos, sometimes I look at the dancers and they can do the moves, but they look like they look like
one,
they
two,
look like
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
But for you, it looks like you've got this. Like it's you. Like so, is it natural? Did you have to learn it before you started going to the school? Was you like
the way I dance in dancehall, I think it's natural for the simple fact that I cannot pinpoint a reason to it.
Yeah.
Because I had this debate with some other people in London, like Shotman. Why am I able to dance like this? And other people who have studied it for longer than me, who have taken more classes than me, met more dancers than me, cannot do it. So I want to believe it's natural, just because I cannot find a reason behind it. But my thing was, when I was in Poland, Global Bob was the first Jamaican dancer I learned from. And when I first saw a video of him dancing, I said, I want to be that guy.
Okay.
So Global Bob is one of the two people that I've seen that can replicate the way Bogle used to dance. It's Bob from Jamaica and Cookie Jar from London. Those are the two dancers that I have seen videos of being able to replicate the original style, the way Bogle back in the 90s and early 2000s used to dance. So in my head, like, I want to dance like him. So I think Global Bob is the person I took the most classes with. And I used to ask him a Baga question when I was how to do this, how to do that, how to do this. And then I just developed my technique. Because I wouldn't call myself as having a style. I just learned the vocabulary, I practiced, and I entertain people at parties. Like some people say, oh, you got a style. Like, I don't have a style, I just do this dance move and put them together.
Okay.
So like, for me, that is the epitome of dancehall culture, and that gets me the biggest. The Bogle move gets me the biggest forward in a party. And when it comes to songs, it would be it would be some like middle school rhythms. What was the name of that?
Yeah, sure.
Rhythm. Oh shit, I forgot.
Well,
That's the
first time you saw it.
the go-go.
No, before that.
We're talking about rhythms.
Street Vibes Rhythm.
Okay.
So for me, like most of the songs on Street Vibes Rhythm are like some of the best songs, and I've seen in the UK a lot of DJs change the vibe of a party just playing that rhythm.
Okay.
So like it doesn't matter if you want to dance or not. If you want to play that rhythm, it will change the vibes. Dancing or no dancing. But again, to your questions, I do believe most white people don't have rhythm.
I mean, I see it. I've seen it. We can put on a song in a white party, and you just watch them. You go to work, Christmas dues, and then you think, what are you hearing?
They're in their element.
What are you hearing? But the thing is, what I do respect though.
They don't give a
They don't give a ras and they dance.
They just live life.
So yeah, that's because there's a lot of expression. You know, so yeah.
You have to ask yourself, where does that come from? Who told them that is the road to go? Again, it's one of them. But see, I haven't been in these situations even before the pandemic, but let's say 4 or 5 years ago. Because I'm the first and only white guy dancing in the culture in London, if I would go into a party and I saw 5 random white people that I didn't know, I would be like, this is going to be shit.
Wrong party.
What is happening here?
What is happening here?
Because I think Styla or somebody else had something in our train. I saw 5 random white people and I was like, this is going to be weird, and it did end up being weird. Like, cause how did you find out? That's the question.
I told you.
You know why? Because it's bashment. It's not dancehall.
I used to be. Maybe I'm more tolerant now, or maybe there's even less white people now than
before. You say you're on them. So I can't know
years ago.
Panny's that boy.
But listen, guys,
get that one. Let them do their shots on that one.
You get the
and then
Oh, yeah, that camera's there.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just run out. Alright, so big up for big up. And shut up for shut up.
I'm
Alright.
so bad at this.
Me
You got your
too.
top on,
I'm gonna forget somebody.
so you don't have to big up everyone, but yeah, one.
Right. Thank you for having me today. Big up all the Manual crew members, Dancehall episode, the Up Top Dance team. As soon as the pandemic is over, or even earlier, if circumstances allow, Up Top Dance is going to be back with dance classes for children, and we all hope to go Spain to Dancehall episode, and hopefully you're going to see Money Wheel everywhere, every time.
What?
Anyway, let's say. Is it on?
Yeah, man.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. I want to shout out my team, Caribbean Party UK. Big up everyone from the team. Also, big up Acer, Juices, Bad. And big up every single dancer in London, and especially the female dancers. I see y'all. And hopefully soon, once it gets lifted and we're able to touch the streets, not only can we dance together, but we can work on some projects together, because Rose has a few secrets up her sleeve coming out real soon.
No, first.
How long was this?
Remember, make sure you subscribe. YouTube.com/Deck1Deck2, and make sure you're following on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/FatsOfficialUK. It's on Spotify as well, so you can check it out. Fats Official.
One more thing.
You don't know?
One more thing. Well, I'll put your socials.
Yeah, give them your app.
What
Your
is
socials.
the social? Follow me on IG at DHK Pandi, then my dance school at Up Top Dance. Also, you can find a lot of dance videos that I've uploaded on YouTube, as well as dancehall vocabulary for middle school that I've done during the pandemic. You can find all of that online.
Sick.
Cool.
Big up.
Big up.
I'm so bad at shouting. I'm picking up
Find
people.
me on IG, Miss Rose UK. Also follow the Caribbean Party UK page. Follow the Acer page, guys. And yeah, support the team. Yeah.
When are you gonna post?